Earning 5% cash back on all Amazon purchases using their Prime line of credit cards is a no-brainer, right?
The Prime Directive is not a matter of degrees. It is an absolute.
I have a problem with that kind of rigidity. It seems callous and even a little cowardly.
First things first, if you find any value in this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be referencing a website. It's mine, ritualpoints.com. You can use it for free. Just come over here to the sign up button, click one of these login buttons, and you're in. Now, if you're not aware, Amazon has 4 credit cards, 2 Chase and 2 American Express, 1 Prime each and 1 non-Prime each. So the Prime cards earn 5% cash back on all purchases in Amazon plus wholesale foods. And then the non-Prime cards earn 3%, but they don't require the Prime membership to use those. Now, I talk here on this video about what a no-brainer these cards are, and especially if you have the Prime membership and use Amazon quite a bit. I've even talked about in this video an expert mode way of earning even more at Amazon, but there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. But today, I'm going to talk about a possibly even easier way to earn better at Amazon without a Prime membership, and possibly even with a Prime membership still doing better with these 1 or possibly 2 cards. Now, the main card that I'm referring to is the Wells Fargo Attune. Now, stick with me. This may seem like a long shot, but I'm going to make the case that the Attune could be a better card than the Amazon cards and even the Prime Amazon cards. First, I'm going to cover the details of the Attune real quick, and then I'm going to get into some card comparisons and some spending charts, and I'm going to make my case that this could be the better card for you. Now, the Wells Fargo Attune has a $100 sign-up bonus. You get that when you spend $500 in the first 3 months of opening your account. It has no annual fee, so no cost of ownership. It does have foreign transaction fees. You can use the points that you earn to redeem in the Wells Fargo travel portal. You're only gonna get 1 cent per point, so if you cash out for a statement credit or you use it in the portal, it doesn't really matter. And it does not have access to transfer partners. That is going to come into play later on in the video. We'll talk about that. Now let's talk about spending categories. Now the Attune is kind of a nutso card when it comes to spending categories. It's really unlike any other card out there. My website has some set categories that makes it easy to compare cards to each other. This one is really difficult to sort of grapple with so that I can do comparisons. I've done the best that I could. So here are the categories that I have, and this one is not on their list of categories. Amazon is not on their list of categories. But as you can see in the notes here, this card is reported by users to get 4x on Amazon purchases 100% of the time. See comments, and if you want to see the comments, they're over here. You click on this button and the comments will roll out. So Wild Purple Pixie is reporting, the best kept secret is that this card gives you 4x on everything on Amazon because it codes everything as books. I had this card for 7 months now. It has worked 100% of the time. I've also verified this. I've looked on Reddit posts and some articles. There is verification out there that this is the case. So it also earns 4x on fitness memberships, 4x on flowers and gardens. I list all the weird stuff about it, like companies and services that it'll earn 4x on. Same with hobbies. So all of these I pulled off the website. Movie theaters, pet care, select live entertainment, self-care spa services, sports and recreation, and I have a whole list of those as well. Streaming services, transit also earns 4x, and that's like buses and trains and ferries and everything. All those earn 4x. So all of those categories I just listed all earn 4x, and then you of course you get 1x on everything else. Now if we come over to their website, they really get detailed. Some of this changes often, but they're all listed here. I'll just show them on the screen for you. So there's the self-care spa services, sports, recreation, and entertainment. All of these are 4x categories, and then they have even these expandable sections here that just list everything. So create and collect, garden and floral, other recreation recreation, leisure activities. And they just list out very detailed examples of what will be covered in the 4X category. I mean, this really makes this a super powerful card. So sports and recreation equipment, sports and live entertainment tickets, streaming music, movies, and books. And so books is where we are getting that 4X on Amazon. Since Amazon originally started out with buying books online, it just codes as books. So since they cover books, then it's 4X on everything at Amazon, and everything at Amazon is everything. So that's where we get it from. So it also has planet-friendly purchases, so antique shops, bus lines, EV charging stations, local suburban commuter passenger transportation, including ferries, railways, and other transportation services. Now, I mentioned that it does not have access to transfer partners, where you can see more value by transferring your points over to those transfer partners and redeeming those for more value. If you do have one of these cards, so for example, the 0 annual fee Wells Fargo autograph, the pointsguy.com values those points at 1.6 cents per point. So you're looking at moving that 4X up to 6.4X. So you can kind of see where I'm going here, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Now, there's not much to speak of in the card's benefits. You do get secondary auto rental collision damage waiver, as well as some cell phone protection. For application rules, we just have the Wells Fargo 1.6. Wells Fargo is kind of an enigma wrapped in a puzzle box, wrapped in an Agatha Christie novel in terms of getting these cards. So I haven't had any luck. My wife had a Wells Fargo checking account, and she had a platinum that she upgraded to the autograph. So we have the autograph, but I think I applied for the Attune that first came out and I didn't get it. I don't know why. Probably had too many cards that year or something. So we're going to try again. But Wells Fargo is just kind of one of those banks where they just kind of approve based on feelings or something. I don't know. Now, like I mentioned, the Wells Fargo's rewards points are valued at 1.6 cents per point. According to the pointsguy.com's website, cash value, you can cash them out at 1 cent per point. Now, like I said, the Attune does not earn these transferable currencies, but if you have another card like the autograph or the autograph journey, then you can transfer points out to Avios, Choice Privileges, which is a hotel chain, Flying Blue, Air France, Virgin Atlantic's Flying Club, and Avianca Life Miles. And then all the cards that can earn in the Wells Fargo rewards are the Wells Fargo autograph, the Wells Fargo journey, like I mentioned. Those both have access to the transfer partners that I mentioned above. And then the Wells Fargo Active Cash, the Attune, and the Signify Business Cash. These all earn cash back, but they have the ability to transfer their points into either of these cards. Now, the cool thing about this card is there's no annual fee. So there's not a lot of cards. There's like maybe 3. This one, the Built and the Blue Business Plus, that can transfer points to transfer partners at the full transfer value. Like City cards, you can transfer to transfer partners, but they kneecap you on the points value. Whereas those 3 I just mentioned, they're at the full value, just like all their other travel cards that you pay a bunch of annual fee for. This one's $0 for annual fee and full transfer partner access. All right, so let's do some card comparisons and see where the sweet spot is for the Attune in comparison to the Amazon Prime. And admittedly, there is a sweet spot when you're just using the Attune. The best place to figure that out is on the richwithpoints.com spending comparison chart. So I've added the Amazon spending category here. As you can see, we just have a annual spending amount selected, which is this far point on the x-axis. And then you have the amount that you would earn for that amount of spending. So the red is the Attune, the blue is the Amazon Prime, and then the gold is just the regular Amazon card that you don't need the Prime membership for. This one gets 3%, the Amazon Prime gets 5%, and then the Wells Fargo Attune gets 4x. So if you just look at this right now, you go, hey dummy, the Amazon Prime Rewards is always better. It's always above. The thing that you have to consider, and which I've just recently added because I thought, wow, this would be a cool little feature to be able to do, is that on cards that have membership requirements, I've got a new benefits section where you can put the ownership requirements in. So this one has an Amazon Prime membership, and it'll negate $139. That's what it costs. So it also talks about, if you're a student, it's only $69, or if you're some kind of government assistance or whatever, $7 a month. So you can factor that in. So if you are a student and that's what you're going to be paying, you can go over to the card, change the value of that benefit to be -69 instead of a -139. But what that does is it will add that to the calculation, which we weren't doing previously, because it does have a 0 annual fee, even though it does have a membership requirement. So it's kind of odd to say that it has an annual fee when it does not have an annual fee. But it does have a requirement that you might want to factor in, so that's why we've done this now. So now you can factor that in, and now you see, oh, okay, well, it starts out in the negative. Now, of course, there are other things to consider, like you are getting free delivery fees with that, which you wouldn't be if you didn't have Prime. So it's all that. At least you can factor in that annual fee that maybe you weren't already spending. You were buying somewhere else online and paying delivery fees. Now you'll shop at Amazon and pay delivery fees, so that's a wash. But if you were going to get the Prime, so anyway, so what you see here though is that the Wells Fargo does better up to about almost $14,000. You're doing better with the Wells card at 4x, just the Wells card at 4x. And then even with the regular Amazon, so if you're not spending more than, $7,000, then you're doing better with the regular Amazon card because you're not paying that $139 annual fee. Again, you have to consider that you're paying delivery fees and all that kind of stuff. But at least this gives you a better sense of how that falls in with everything with the earning points versus the membership fee and stuff. All right, so now let's go over to the wallet setup comparison. Before we do that, let's go and set up my annual fee profile. So I'm just going to create a new profile, call it Amazon spending or whatever, and then just put Amazon in there, right? And we'll just say it's going to be, I don't know, $20,000 over a course of a year. Okay, so we got that set up. We're going to come over to the wallet setups. We'll choose Wells, and I'll just get rid of everything except for the Attune. And then over here, we'll just call this Amazon Prime. All right, so right off the bat, you can see that if we're just spending $20,000 in Amazon does much better. 1,000 versus 800 in the Attune. So we're earning 4x over here, earning 5x over here. Case closed, right? If we add one more card to this, which is the autograph, that enables the ability for these points to get transferred over to the autograph to then use for transfer partners. So now effectively, let me go down to the spending categories. So we're earning 4x, we're earning 5x, we're getting a cash value of $1,000. So it's just a straight calculation. 5x times $20,000, you're getting 100,000 points. And that's valued 1 cent per point, so you're getting $1,000. On the Wells Fargo side, it's a little more complicated than that because it's 4x, but the points are being valued higher than 4x because we can transfer those over to the autograph and effectively get 1.6x for our points. Again, that's going to vary. You're going to have to do a little work. You're going to have to find good transfers, but that's what the pointsguy.com values those points at, 1.6 cents per point. So if that's the case and you can do that, then you'll be earning 6.4x instead of 4 effectively. That's the value of those points that you're earning is what I mean. And then so $20,000, that's now $1,280 in cash value. And then now this is all of a sudden a better deal. And it doesn't matter how much you spend, it's always going to be better if you're doing that. The problem I have with Wells is I don't spend enough money to have enough points to really make a difference in putting those points into some ecosystem. I use it on gas. I guess I could use it on, now that I don't have 3x on the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I could use 3x for travel on that card. It's 3x for dining, 3x for streaming. So it's not a bad card to earn some, but I mean, earning grocery level earnings on Amazon in Wells now makes this card quite an earner that you can then accrue a ton of points and actually use those in transfer partners. Now, the transfer partners are a little sparse, but they just started it about a year and a half ago, so they're hopefully adding more and more as time goes by, and it'll be a little more valuable, hopefully, in the future. But much better earning this way. Both of these cards are no annual fee, so this is no annual fee except for the and actually I could turn that on. I should turn that on. Turn on that membership, and then it's even more of a disparity between the two with the fact that you're having to calculate that Prime membership in there, and that's if you don't have the Prime card, you're not using Prime anyway. I personally would have the Prime membership whether or not I would have this card. So that's just me. So it's up to you. Figure it out in your situation. But the fact still remains, you're going to earn better over here on the Wells Fargo side if you have these two cards, regardless of how much you spend in Amazon. Now, let's say you don't get 1.6 cents per point with your Wells Fargo transfer partner redemption. So, okay, that's fair. So let's come over here to the point systems. We'll find Wells Fargo, and we can edit these points. So it says it's got 1.6. So we'll come over here and say, let's say we only get 1.25, for example. Update that, come back over to the wallet setup. So we'll hit recalculate. So it recalculates based on the new one. And now it's tied. If you're getting 1.25 cents per point on your Wells Fargo transfer partner redemptions, it's gonna be basically you're earning 5x instead of 4x on there. And if you factor in the membership, then you're still doing better on the Wells side. But like I said, some of you guys would have Prime membership whether you had the Prime card or not. So that's totally fair argument, and it would be a wash. So that means that if you are earning anything over 1.25, if you have these two cards. So if you're earning 1.3 cents per point on your redemption, so you don't have to earn that full 1.6 if you just can't figure out how to get that, but you can get 1.3. Okay, let me hit recalculate, and we're doing better on the Wells side. So anything 1.25 or better, it's going to be either comparable to the Prime or better than the Prime. And the Prime's never going to be able to earn more than this. Only the Wells could actually possibly get you more based on your transfer partner redemption possibilities. So I have to give a shout out to Andrea Belt. She's that wild pixie person from the comments for pointing this out to me. Thank you very much for the assist, Andrea. I mean, that's pretty awesome that the Attune earns that much on Amazon. Because for us, I mean, there's Amazon boxes literally every day on my doorstep. I'm not saying that it's my wife doing all that. I'm just saying they show up on the front door. That's all I'm saying. I don't really think we need to call any one person out. My point is that we order a lot from Amazon, and anything that we can earn on Amazon is a good thing. And that's honestly a big earning category for us. So I did mention the video I did about the expert mode for the Chase Ink Cash card that you can actually earn a lot more on, but there are a lot of hoops you got to jump through. You got to do gift cards, and then you've got to also figure out how to get a business credit card if you're not a legitimate business and that whole thing. So a lot of people steer away from that. That is definitely an expert mode thing to do, but for the layman, the normies, then obviously you have the Amazon Prime card, easy peasy, 5x on everything. Definitely is a no-brainer. But if you have a way of transferring those points from Wells Fargo and getting even a decent value on the points, the autograph Attune is also a no-brainer. And then if you're not spending a ton and you really don't want to, deal with the whole Prime membership, you don't use it, whatever, I don't know. Maybe you use someone else's membership, but you're not able to get a credit card because it's not your membership. Whatever the case may be, the Attune is absolutely a possibility for you. But who cares what I think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you found any value in this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Sign up for the website, it's completely free, and we will see you next time.